Welcome back, one and all, to some more Olympus. It was wonderful, it was glorious, it was an amazing break. I'm going to switch us back over to here. Oh, and then I'm going to switch us back over to here. Rest in peace, earphone users. Hello.
Yo.
Hi.
Why did it say there was messages in general chat, but the last message was mine? Interesting. Hope everyone's having a great time. Hope you all had a wonderful break. I know that some people are scared and horny simultaneously, and that's amazing. Excellent. Y'all are great conversationalists today.
Explosive ordnance has a way of eliciting those two feelings.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Let me zoom out on this map a little bit. Alright, excellent.
Also, mysterious sci-tech, pre-tech explosive devices.
So, Boomer, are you here?
Yes.
Congratulations, you get another reroll just for future use sometime in the next 30 minutes. Just make sure you use it on a good roll. So, Dr. Archibald, let's talk about what you get. So, in your exploring, you have a bit of a tougher time about it. Fortune and Oscar are much better equipped at like moving objects and using leverage and getting into things, and for you, it's kind of like crawling over things and having to like get underneath things and like move things around, and so you have a hard time of it. You probably at one point or another, like, you know, breathe in some dust and start hacking and coughing just to add to your general demeanor. But you find something of great interest. You locate a toolbox that's kind of been crushed under some lockers, and most of the devices in it are just completely ruined, not of any use, they're just junk at this point. But underneath of those, and like the bottom of the toolbox, you see there appears to be a small circular device of some sort. It's almost perfectly flat on the bottom, and it's kind of domed a little bit on the top, almost like those little push lights that you see, like that you're supposed to stick on your walls and shit. It's kind of like that a little bit, except there's no separation between the two things. And I think that the thing that catches your eye about it, and the reason why you even saw it in the first place, is because it gives off this like faint humming sound, almost mechanical in a way, but not quite. And you see it just resting inside of this toolbox.
Okay. Reach into the toolbox, pick it up, and inspect it. Just kind of doing a visual inspection.
It shoots you in the chest with a scrap launcher.
Well, guys, I had a good run. I think I'm done for the night.
I'm kidding, but that was too easy. No, it doesn't do that, obviously. When you pick it up, the humming sound is very clearly coming from it. But when it touches your skin, it glows softly, almost like a very, very faint, dim glow coming from the device as you pick it up. Just enough so that it's like illuminating your face and nothing else.
Okay. Does it appear to have any buttons or?
No, it appears completely devoid of pushable things.
Okay. What's its general shape? You said it was a box.
So it's got
like a small dome on top.
It's a circle. It's almost like a little dome, but flatter. It's like a flattened dome, and it's about the size of your palm. And it's like this. It's like silvery, like a silverish material. Almost looks like mercury if mercury were like hardened. So it's kind of a little bit reflective. But it's obviously like it's not. You know, it's got a little bit of not luminosity. That's not the word I'm looking for. That's totally a company. It's got a little bit of
Luminance.
Luminescent.
Yeah, it's a little bit luminesque. But only when it came in contact with your skin. When it was not in contact with your skin, you just heard that kind of very low humming.
Can I do a pre-tech, post-tech roll?
Sure, but you have to describe to me how you're doing that, because it's going to matter. Like, what are you doing to perform the role? Physically.
In addition to just kind of running his hands over it, he's also listening to it to see if there's a rhythm to the hum, to see if maybe it's syncing to like a heartbeat when it's touched.
Sure.
Going to check to see if it maybe it's voice activated, or maybe the top dome part that is slightly luminescent, seeing if maybe that might be activated, like the arbiter or...
Sure. Yeah. Roll me a pre-tech check.
Because this is going to go well.
Hey, you gotta
And then
reroll.
re-roll it immediately and get the same number.
Yeah.
That only happens when I call it.
It's true. Yeah, literally, Matt, you should just shut up when he does rerolls. Nice. A 9's definitely good enough. So
Wait,
yeah, so I
reroll's
think
not
that
necessary. Yay.
I think that you know, you're running your hands over it. You try like the key card that you have, and it doesn't work. And then you like you look at it and you're just like, open, and yeah, it becomes a HoloLens, and you can see into it. It doesn't project a hollow image, but it's almost like projecting onto the flattened like bulb of this device. It looks like a schematic, but you're not quite able to make it out.
Okay.
But it definitely has like that, and it's like cycling through a bunch. But clearly, like, open wasn't the command to, like, you know, view anything substantial.
Right.
But it appears to be like a memory device of some sort.
Okay. Definitely picking it up and bringing it with me, and just getting quick. Not really thoroughly going through everything, but just kind of taking everything in as it kind of cycles through these different things.
Yeah, it actually appears to only be like one thing stored on this. And I think that you know what, a 9 is good enough. I'm not even gonna make a roll again. That would be dumb. It clearly deals with cybernetics.
Okay. As I'm looking at it, just every now and again, just my eyes kind of glance towards Gogo, and then just focus more on what it is I'm looking at, and then maybe snaking a glance back at Gogo.
Yeah. Who's like, all you can see is like her butt and her green hair.
Yeah,
sticking up
exactly.
from the beam. Yeah, like the beam that's collapsed. Like you just see the bottom half of her, and then there's like a beam in the way, and then there's just her hair sticking up over the top of it. But yeah, that's what you find. That will probably require some like more tools than you have on you to decipher most of what's going on there. But hey,
Alrighty.
you got a thing. Hiapo finishes puking in the corner. He kind of like wipes his hand on his mouth, and I think that he like squeezes out and like joins you, Gogo, on the exterior of the room, and he probably like looks at you. And are you like still like distant-eyed watching the hallway?
Oh yeah, she's so zoned out and in her own head.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he talks to her eyes, it would. I mean, she's not that far.
Yeah, and I think that he looks at you and he says, "It's not a pretty sight in there."
She just looks at him. It's like, that's an understatement.
He's like, well, at least. And then like he like trails off like he was gonna say something, but it maybe was going to be insensitive. And then he probably looks back at you and he says, I have a daughter about your age.
Oh yeah, what's her name?
Genevieve.
What does she do? Is she an archaeologist like you?
No, I'm afraid not. She sings.
Margot smiles at the fact that he says she sings, and she turns and she says, "Any good?"
He goes, "The best, of course." But, like, in that way that, like, a father would say that, right? Like, she's about your age, so, like, she's either got it or she doesn't. Because there's no more development going on there, really.
Does she sing with a band, or is it just her?
She has a band. The boyfriend in it.
Of course, it's always a boy.
He's kind of like nods, and he's like, here. And he, like, you see him, like, reach for his compad, and he, like, scrolls through some things, and he shows you a picture. And it's a very beautiful, like, Hawaiian-looking woman, and she's got a flower in her hair, and she's with a boy who looks equally, like, gorgeous, and he's got his shirt off, and they're all dressed in, like, traditional, you know, Hawaiian garb with the hula skirt and, you know, all that stuff. They look like perfectly happy, like, loving couple. He's like, at least the boy provides. That is good.
You keep in touch.
I try to. She moves around a lot.
I assume touring and all.
Yeah. That's about it.
Still, must be nice to have a father who doesn't. And then she stops to say something and then just kind of trails off.
Yeah, and I think that you see him, and he takes a compad back and he looks at it, and you can see, like, he's tearing up, like, a little bit. And he closes the image. He says, well, we all pass one day or another.
She just nods and looks about the same she did when he came out there.
Right, yeah. And then, like, I think there's a long momentary pause. And I think he stares off down the hallway, like, where you're looking. And he just, like, after that pause, he says, I'm sorry.
So am I. And I think at that point she would, like, physically walk away from him. Like, it's too painful to stand there next to him.
Sure, yeah. You just, like, do you squeeze inside?
Yeah, I would actually, like, just go inside at that and just kind of stand to the side of the door.
Sure. So, Oscar, you handed Boomer the possible Sci-Tech explosive?
Well, I mean, we've danced around it, calling it those several things, whether it is or not.
Yeah, the device.
The device. Yes. So Boomer, do you make heads or tails of that? Are you interested in this at all, or are you too engaged with your schematics?
No, he would put what he has down for a moment to actually inspect your device and see what he can make of it. Jordan, do you want another pre-tech roll?
No, for you it's tech sci-tech.
Okay.
With intelligence. It's unreasonable that Boomer would be able to roll the combat one. Yeah. So I think that perhaps somewhere in your studies of things, you recognize the not necessarily the device or what it may have in it or anything like that, or like the canister, but the device on top you definitely recognize as being in, like, maybe some long forgotten textbook or something that you heard about, and it is very clearly like a remote detonator, but I think that importantly it's dual purpose. You understand that a device like this can either be set manually through normal input by using the remote and setting it, or it is actually also designed to receive psychic input for how it is armed, a timer, that kind of stuff. And you recognize that as this device. So what it will do after the engagement of this device, what that will do is unknown to you, but the fact that it does have a timing device and an engagement of some sort when that timing device ends, and it can also be either manually used or psychically used.
I tell Oscar that, prefacing it with, "This is not my area of study, but..."
Sure, yeah. Cool, that's more than I knew before.
That's the point.
Yeah, so he just thanks you, puts it gingerly back in his backpack.
Knowing that it is it is,
yeah,
does have some type of engagement explosive. At this point. Yeah, explosive is a good guess.
Sure.
Cool, awesome. So with that, this room is essentially cleared out of all important stuff, unless anybody wants to inspect the destruction here. Specifically, you guys were looking for stuff.
Well, does my 13 earlier buy me anything on that?
Sure. It will buy you the fact that there appears to be a couple of different types of things going on here. There is very clearly some blunt force trauma to a lot of objects in this room. But maybe it's from bodies flying into them, but it doesn't appear so. It appears like maybe some things were actually crushed, cans, kind of some of the lockers are probably crushed in. There's clearly rending claw marks on a couple of the pillars and walls inside of this place. The blaster scoring is obvious, right? The rifle scoring is obviously from rifles.
So does it look to me like that was misfire, or it came from, because there would be some telltale signs if a group of armed people came into the room, shot a bunch of people, and then walked out. It would look very different if people were trying to defend themselves from within,
right? So
misfired.
So specifically, it does appear that the scoring is on almost every surface in the room: the floor, the walls, the pillars, the ceiling. Odd angles. So, it's very off.
Okay, so it looks like a bunch of people were trying to defend themselves from within the room, and they were not the victors. Is that basically what I gather?
Yeah, okay. 100%.
Cool. I relay that to the...
Yeah, and again...
for what it's worth.
Right. And distinctly, I think that the thing to take away from this is the fact that either all of these people were standing in a small group cluster in the center of the room and firing at every surface they could find, maybe trying to hit something in that area, or something else is at work here that you don't know yet.
Cool. Yeah, so Oscar would just say, these people from the scorching, it looks like they knew what was coming and just couldn't do anything about it when it got there. Beyond that, hard to say.
What are the chances whatever these people were fighting is still going to be walking around?
Well, I don't think they killed it, but it's been hundreds of years. Unlikely it's still here. Perhaps I am thinking wishfully. And
No one comments at that. Okay,
Well,
fantastic.
That's probably the general mood of the.
Yeah. So again, it's probably resting time and time to advance the day. Another sequence.
Well, what does Gogo say to the notion of bunking down here for the evening?
Like, that's fine, but she's staying out in the hallway.
Sure.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. This seems like a
defensible location? Go ahead, say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, last
It's a place
stand
we
is
won't
still a
die.
defense.
Yeah, and this is clearly not a last stand position, by the way. I should be clear on that. There are exits out of here, and I think there's probably 3 dusty bone remains that are basically just dust at this point, just held together by time. And it's clear more than 3 people caused this chaos in here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It just appears that 3 people met their maker here. Along with all of their life fluid everywhere. Literally.
they're long evaporated.
Rust corroded. Yeah.
Oscar says, shall we draw straws for the watch, or...
I'll take first.
Yapo probably says, he's like, I don't think I'm getting much sleep tonight, brothers.
I mean, Margot's already out in the hallway, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Okay, in that event, he says, wake me if you get tired.
Okay, yeah, and everybody rests. Throughout the course of the night, it's fairly uneventful. Gogo, are you staying up all night?
I mean, she's gonna try her damnedest.
Sure.
She doesn't have much of a willpower, but...
Did we pack coffee?
The deal is, even your average human being can stay up all night. It's basically just how badly you're affected at the end of the night that you stay up.
Yeah, if you stay up all night, when you had a normal previous days, but at this point, this is
True.
day 4, if I'm counting correctly, of bullshit. So, I think it'd be slightly more challenging, but
right,
Gogo's affected,
right,
is what I'm saying.
There's also that other aspect of, your body won't sleep because it's just on edge so hard, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's
but I do think
mixture.
that if you're going to stay up all night, roll me a mental effect save, and then we'll see where that takes us.
Wow.
Go.
Yes, go on.
Probably at around 3 a.m. you hear the gentle snoring from inside, and it seems that Hyapo is finally dozed off in his tiredness because he's not average. And you're sitting outside, and you've been hearing this noise occasionally, kind of it's creaking, but it's you've heard it before. It's kind of wishy-washy, or stuff settling, or a light swinging from just whatever ambient motion is in the air, and you begin to hear something that sounds like water dripping into a pool. Just bloop, bloop, bloop.
And I assume it's constant and at the same exact interval.
Yeah, and it's coming from directly down the hallway. In front of you. But you can't see anything.
Oh, I'm sure I can't, for sure. Yeah, so Margaret's gonna sit there for a few more moments. I assume it continues.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She freaking follows the sound because she's losing her mind.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get up and you maybe you look in the room, make sure nobody's playing a joke on you or anything, and you begin to travel down the hallway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Towards wherever I perceive the sound is.
Yeah, and so mayhaps strangely to you, but you did mention you kind of losing your mind a little bit. The sound appears to be at the same distance away from you, constantly. You travel down the hallway maybe 10 meters, 20 meters or so, and it takes it's like a T intersection. It goes left and right, and you think it's coming from the left, but then you turn your head to the right and you think it's coming from the right, and it's hard to tell where it's coming from, but it still sounds the same distance away from you.
I think Margot just tries desperately to return back to where she came, and she just sits down and just fucking rocks back and forth for a little while until somebody else wakes up and notices.
When does the watch change? Do you wake anyone up?
Yeah, so that's the deal, is nobody else is awake but Gogo right now. However, I think that Hyapo's not having great dreams. So probably about an hour after this has started, Gogo, you hear... oh, shit. And you hear, Hyapo, awaken suddenly and, curse, and then, maybe if you, look in, you see him, rub his eyes. And he's starting, one-eyed open, looking around the room.
Margot immediately goes to his side and is like, do you hear it? Listen.
He's like, hear what?
The dripping. There's this distinct dripping. Please tell me you hear it.
Yeah, and he kind of he shakes his head. He's like,
No, really. Listen a little bit harder.
Gogo, I don't hear nothing.
She just looks at you, attempting to see if you're playing a joke on her.
Yeah, no, he's rubbing his eyes. He's still half asleep, but yeah, he appears to be sincere in that moment of pure honesty when you just wake up.
Yep. So Gogo goes, oh, well, I'll let you wake up, and then I'll ask you again in a few minutes. And then she kind of goes back out into the hallway.
Peek your head out
shaking
first.
her head back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, and he wakes up, and then, eventually he, again, he's, squeezing himself out, and he kind of, plops over the beam, and he, comes out, and he's still rubbing his eyes, but, he feels more
Gogo's
awake
seated
now.
on the floor, just kind of, holding her hands kind of near her head.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he kind of, he looks around, he's like, honey, I don't see anything. Or hear anything.
Nothing at all. Please tell me nothing.
He's like, what is it?
It's a dripping sound. It's every 3 seconds. I've calculated exactly. It keeps happening, and I can't seem to find it. And she's just looking at him desperately.
Yeah, and then I think at that exact moment, it stops.
Oh, it stopped. Did you do something?
Yeah, I think he kind of he looks down the hallway, and he's peering down the hallway, and he's like, no. But mayhaps you get some sleep.
She does the nervous laugh thing. Yeah, exactly. She said, maybe I should do that. Yeah. She's just kind of
yeah, and he's
inside.
He's like, I got this, sister. And he again, he positions himself, and he cracks his neck, and he seems pretty awake now, and he's watching the hallway.
Yeah, he doesn't have to tell her twice. Not at this point.
Yeah. So you go in, and you get a few hours, and you wake up feeling a fair bit more refreshed. And everybody wakes up, and nothing seems to happen throughout the night. Hyapo's entrails are scattered across the entire hallway, though.
Shit.
Incoming actual mental break.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's done. Yep, that's it.
The dripping was actually his blood the whole time. You did it. Like, it happened way before he woke up and came out.
Totally like Telltale Heart style. It's just,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep,
Mhm.
100%.
Great. Perfect. Yep. GG, everyone. New character.
Yeah. I'm out. Fuck this shit.
Margot walks into the armory and picks up
Picks up the grenade and walks back out into the hallway, and you hear an explosion.
And literally just blows herself
Literally
up.
just, suicide bombs herself, and we're done.
Yep, GG. Little do you know, there's been someone alive here the whole time! Insert new character.
Insert new character from the brig upstairs.
Yeah, the sealed off brig.
The sealed off brig.
You're actually immortal, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that seems
also
reasonable.
known as Commander.
Yeah, also actually the commander.
Yes,
this time,
actually-
not
you're
just
actually
pretending to be the
right,
commander.
right, exactly.
I'm actually the commander.
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Glad we were at the whole rest of the
Yeah, good.
the
We can all-
session and next session, so it's great. It's perfect. So everybody awakens from their slumber, including Hiapo, and you guys have 2 more places to explore here, or you can go down a floor, or you can go up to the top floor. It's up to you.
Hey Jordan, before we start exploration,
Yeah. Congratulations, Will. You have more than doubled your health.
Wow, that's quite a life total, sir.
That will make up... Hey, there's 2 5s in there. Actually, there's 3 5s if you count the first 2 together. 5 appears to be the lucky number. No? No one? Alright, fine.
It's just
have
so much pain. It's just so much pain.
rubbing salt into the wound.
I'll slap my own wrist. It was totally worth it. Anyway, so the group of you awaken, and Boomer is looking mighty bolstered this morning.
Little to our knowledge, Will spent the entire night lifting weights.
Yeah, yeah. He appears a bit more hardy than he usually is, which is great. Maybe he won't get devoured in one hit. So, moving right along. Are you guys going to explore the other 2 places, which are the rec room and the training area here? Or are you going to go downstairs? Are you going to go upstairs? Also, on every floor, I'm going to have everybody make a... In fact, I should have done this right at the beginning, but you guys aren't at the point yet, kind of. Everybody's going to make a perception check based on intelligence to see if they can notice anything, like, distinctive, once you have, like, a full day in the place. So,
Okay,
everybody
sure.
can do that now, and see if you can find anything of, like, that use, and may help you, like, get the fuck out of here.
Hooray!
Okay. Okay.
Yay!
Okay.
Oh boy.
Gugu's literally freaking her shit.
You have
She
2
literally had 2 hours of sleep. Like, it doesn't notice anything.
Yeah, so up here...
She's showing the deprivation.
But
at this
also,
point.
Go, you have 2 minutes for a reroll.
Oh yeah, true. Do you want to reroll, Gugu?
No, I'm going to let it stand. It makes sense.
Alright, that's fine. So unfortunately, this floor is not the place that was well suited to finding something interesting or awesome. Either because there's
Yeah, the one we roll good on, right?
Either because it doesn't have anything good on it, or there's just, you guys just didn't find it. So what's the plan? Are you guys going to go spend the day? Because, like, you'll spend the day here, like, looking for this, like, important stuff, but also you can explore the other 2 rooms within that, like, time frame. Or you can, like, spend the day exploring the room and then proceeding to another room and getting some work done on that one. Or another floor.
I think my vote is to go to the living quarters, because that might be where the likeliest place that we're gonna find one, perhaps an exit, but also
Yeah, because it's actually not
like
the living
information.
quarters. It's actually the officers' quarters. So it's
Yeah.
it's actually even more like important.
So that's what Oscar suggests. Like, in a prison, might be something interesting, but we know that we're gonna. That's the case that he makes, is that they should go to the officers' quarters.
Boomer agrees with him.
I don't argue against it. So I got what I wanted. Well, I went where I wanted, didn't get what I wanted.
No, but you got some cool stuff anyway.
I
Yeah,
did,
that's
which
some
I have to explore
interesting
some more.
ordnance.
Right, you said you had
Yeah.
some questions on that, right? Like,
I did.
Yeah, what are the questions? That you have?
So on the back of the round, is there like a striker area where you would have your ignition powder?
No, there's not.
So it doesn't look like it's percussion fired.
It does not. At least to your knowledge that you can
To
tell.
my knowledge. Okay.
Do you try loading and firing one anyhow?
Well, not yet, but that was my next question. You said it was close to those same size rounds that I have now.
Yeah, no,
Will
it looks just about the same length. You look like you could
Will
load
it
it into one of your.
feed?
Yeah, it looks like you could feed it if you tried.
Yeah, well, I try to feed it into the barrel, and I wouldn't close the bolt quite yet, but
Yeah.
just to
so you push it into the barrel,
mhm.
and when you set it, something happens. You notice there's like a shimmer, almost like, again, like that kind of mercury shimmer across the surface of the round. And Jesus, you don't know how it works, but it appears to mold into the shape of your regular rounds once it does that. Once it's made contact and been seated inside of your rifle. Also, which one did you load in there?
Definitely one of the incendiary.
Incendiary? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because if this went wrong, he wanted to explode.
Yeah. Well, it's better than the high explosive, so. I would close the bolt, and then I would open the bolt to try to see if it will extract the round like a normal rifle.
Yeah, so you push it forward, lock it in, pull it out, and it pops out. But as it pops out and you catch it, I assume, because you're awesome.
Yeah.
When you catch it and you observe it, it appears to be in its regular shape. Like it's normal, like stagnant shape.
I store that in the memory banks, put it back in the box, and put it back in the backpack.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome.
Does Fortune try jamming several into his revolver, or
No, I'm going to assume that much metal would not fit in something that small.
Yeah, it does appear that it was activated when it like actually seated in the chamber.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Although that would be an amusing sight, seeing Fortune like jam a bunch of
Rifle rounds into a revolver.
they might melt. They might mold to it.
Mm-hmm. It's totally.
I think I would need a larger rifle, or a revolver.
All right, I'm going to move you guys somewhere. This is the armory. All right, don't laugh at my drawings. It's fine.
Make no promises.
So we can see what's going on here. So obviously the blue, that's like accessible, right? And you know that this is gonna look a little like Donkey Kong, okay? You guys know that. Let me.
Oh, I didn't realize that this was a vertical map. Are those ladders or?
Yes, exactly. This is a vertical map. Don't be confused.
Okay.
Let's make that 22. Yeah, seems good. So there's the armory with 2 exclamation points on it. Paste. Don't get crazy. Yeah, I didn't go that far. This is the rec room. And Control C, Control V. This over here is the training grounds. Cool. And then you know that, let me draw some other things here. You know that the officers' quarters are essentially all of this. It's quite big. And then the other place down here of note is like storage areas. Like foodstuffs and stuff like that. Which might be important. Don't worry, there's not 2 armories. Don't freak out. This is...
You're right, there's 3.
Quarters. Yeah, that was the real trick the whole time. This is actually just a weapons cache. And this is supplies. And then the brig is literally the entire top floor is the brig. And I'm making it in red because that's what we do. Text, red, brig. There we go. Cool. Awesome. So you guys are in the armory now. You could go down the closest set of stairs, which would bring you straight down to the supplies, but you could also go explore these other 2 rooms. Essentially, your day is going to be spent exploring this level to try and find something good, which you didn't do because you all rolled the perception checks. Tomorrow, you guys can explore another level to see if you find something good, but you have to like be there, right? So like you can go explore the rec room and the training grounds and get somewhere, but not do anything there. Or you guys can go down, explore maybe the supplies and officers' quarters, but not search that level and still have the rec room and training grounds to explore. So it's really up to you guys.